Time now for Perspective. Today, the World Refugee Day. Immigration, a divisive topic on both sides of the Atlantic. Lost in the debate often, though, is the human, personal element. Today, we often speak in statistics, but rarely in names. But here to help us put a face on the issue and context, Afghan refugee Mohammad Ewaz, thank you for coming in to speak to us, as well as Benoit Cohen, French filmmaker and writer. Thank you for joining us as well. The story is an amazing story. Benoit Cohen wrote this book, Mohammad, ma mère et moi, Mohammad, my mother and me. It tells the story of Benoit, your mother, taking in Mohammad. You were living abroad at the time when you learned that she was doing this. What was going through your head?
Actually, I just I've been living in New York for the last 4 years, and every week I call my mother and ask her how she goes. And this night she's telling me I'm waiting for Mohammed, and I'm like, who is Mohammed? And she's like, she's the Afghani refugee who's going to live in the house. So I was surprised. She didn't tell anything to either me or my brothers. I think she was afraid of our reaction and thinking that perhaps we would make her doubt or anything. So she decided to, because they met through an association that put together people who have space and want to take in someone in their house, and people who are searching for a house, a room. So I was surprised. I was afraid first. And then I realized that it was going to be first very interesting because we were meeting someone new, and it was not only about helping someone, it was also about sharing, and that's what happened in the 2 next years that they spent together. And that's the interesting about this book and this story, is that if you go, if you don't, if you allow yourself to go above your fear, then you can really meet someone and live something really special.
But that initial moment, there are 2 strangers. There's no trust. You don't know either one yet. Mohammad, for you coming to France, what was that like for you when you first arrived?
When I first arrived, I was lucky. I knew a friend of mine from back in Afghanistan, and I stayed at his place for a couple of months, and then I came to Paris. And when I came to Paris, I didn't know anyone. I was literally on the street and I was struggling. But I had dreams. I had plans in my head to do. And so I was desperately looking for anything to help me to reconstruct my life and gain back everything I lost. So, but thanks to Singa, through an association, it's called Singa, I met Marie-France Cohen, and it was a beginning of new adventure and new history for me.
New adventure. Can you take us through your life? It was a long journey. Iran, Afghanistan, Sri Lanka.
And so in details it's written in the book in a very, very good way. But yes, I was born in Isfahan in Iran, and when I was around 6, we moved to Tehran, the capital. And when I was again around 12, we moved to Kabul, and I worked there. I was working with coalition forces in Afghanistan, and when I was 19, I had to leave Afghanistan for Sri Lanka because some issues, security issues.
French troops leaving the country.
Yes.
Security risks.
Yeah, and then I stayed in Sri Lanka for about 7 and 8 months, and then I had to move to Strasbourg, nearby Strasbourg. And after Strasbourg, I came to Paris for 2 years, something like that. And then now I'm in Le Havre and doing Sciences Po there.
Yeah, Sciences Po, for any of our viewers that may not know, it is one of the grandes écoles in France. For the American audience, it's kind of like being in the Ivy League, one of the most prestigious universities you could attend in France. Benoit, probably weren't expecting for your family to have a new member. How has it changed things in the family?
Yeah, it was really unexpected, and 8 years ago my father died, and I moved to New York 4 years ago, so there was some space, I will say. And my mother was alone in this big house, and she was like following the news, and at one point she couldn't stand it anymore. It was too much pain, too much like, and she decided to do this move, and as I told you, the first time we didn't really get it with my brothers, and each time I was coming back to France, I was seeing Mohammad, but it was like hello, and nothing else.
No personal
no
connection
personal
yet.
relationship. And then one day we started to talk and realized that he had a lot to tell me about and to learn me. And at that time, Trump was elected, and I was like I was shocked because I came to the US for something else than that. And I was thinking to myself, what can I do at my small level as an artist to resist in a way? And my way of resisting was telling the story of this, like really the way you can help someone at a small level, just one-to-one. And then I decided to interview Mohammad, and then we spent so much time together that we became friends. And really now Mohammad is part of the family. It took time, but you know, that's the great thing about this story. It's like you have a stranger in your house, and slowly but surely is not anymore a stranger, is part of it. And I was really, I didn't expect that. Really, if you would have said to me like it's going to become part of the family, I would say, okay, this is like a nice idea, but it's not going to happen.
A Hollywood movie.
Yeah, and it's going to happen.
Yeah, it seems that a common theme in this book, perhaps I'm reading into it, a story of hope. America now with the Trump administration, you mentioned the sort of cynicism you have towards his policies, and Mohammad, you trying to find the strength to continue to fight and not be beaten with your journey, and two of you ending up in the same family, sort of brothers, if you will. That's something that perhaps might be a lesson for many of us when we're looking at this migrant crisis in Europe, that these are real people here, and even if they reach Europe's shores, their journey is far from over, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, it's really about real people. That's the thing when you see what's happening now with like this family like separated, and this is terrible because we are talking about real people, and the problem with the media is that we're saying the refugees, the migrants, the Syrian people. I mean, it's not. It's people. It's real people, and that's what I'm trying to show in this book. Is where I'm talking about real people, solidarity, how you can help someone, not even knowing where it's from. We don't care. You just like that. That's the thing I really don't understand now. But it's not only, you know, we talk about Trump, but in Europe, it's terrible. I mean, the European governments, they don't. I mean, they just like we welcome so many. I mean, less refugees every year. It's a very small amount, and they're all fighting to what's happening with Aquarius in the Mediterranean Sea. It's terrible, and so I'm trying to not do any politics because you know it's not my. I'm not a politician, but I'm trying to show if you go above your fear, how you can really. Not, of course, you can help, but you can get a lot, and that's the big thing is that you don't only give, you receive a lot.
Discover something in yourself.
And that's I think like today the refugees can learn us a lot, and that's how America was made, you know. So I really hope that this book is gonna show people how you can go through that and get a lot from this kind of story.
Absolutely. I wish we had more time to talk about this story, but if you're curious and want to know more, read the book, Mohammad, Ma Mère et Moi. It's a story about hope, about love, about compassion, about people, and looking to find courage within yourself. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us here on France.